Hey guys, this is Shane and welcome to my Curator of the Lost channel. Today's video is for all of you that are watching videos like this that want to sell on eBay, that want to become book resellers, but you're not following through. You know, so you want to be a bookseller, you want to sell books, or for that matter, anything online, but you're not doing it. So let's ask why and think about what the perceived hurdles are, and then what, from my experience, what the real hurdles are. Okay, so I think the first thing that keeps people from starting is fear and inertia, right? It's fear of the unknown, you know, and not knowing all the steps of the process and not maybe fully understanding everything. It can freeze you to inaction, and then that inaction can become inertia, and you always mean to do something, but you just never get off the dime, right? So you watch a video, you get jazzed, you see something, maybe even you bought things, maybe you've even have purchased items, but then you never really list them because you don't have an account, you never really get started. I find that oftentimes that comes from, and it's not just in reselling, this can be anything, you know, in life, but it's fear of the unknown, and that fear of the unknown, because you don't know everything about something, freezes you and it turns into inertia where you never get started. And the best advice I can give you on that is that if this is you, is that you're never going to know it all. You continually learn, and there's no reason to wait until you know it all. Just start. That's the number one advice. Just start. So what if something doesn't sell? So what if you make a mistake and you underprice something? So what if you mess up on shipping and it costs more, or it takes a little bit longer to figure out? What is your risk to get started? For online book selling, not that much. So number one advice is that's really just get started, and don't worry about having to know all the steps and have it all figured out and planned out. I guarantee whatever you do, you wish you'd done a little something different later, right? The next thing I hear a lot of is people say, well, I don't know what kind of books to pick or sell. Well, that comes with experience, okay? My answer to that is that's why you watch videos like, you know, there's hopefully my channel, Mike, the used book guy, John on small time bookseller. I've got links to their sites, and they show the types of things they find and buy. And does that mean you're going to find that exact book? It's the same as when you look at my stuff. Are you going to find that exact book? No, but you're going to learn the flavor, the genre of things that will sell, and that trains your eye. Or you take the plunge and you get into scanning software. But just getting started, you don't have to do that. You just train and keep learning, right? And then from that you will find books and you will build inventory. Okay. The other thing that I get the most questions or the most anxiety about, or people that keeps them from starting, is they don't understand the shipping on eBay. All right, fundamentally on shipping, the buyer pays for shipping. All right, they pay for the shipping directly to you, and this is done in two ways. It's either there's an additional shipping cost, or the cost of the shipping is tied into your price. So even though you give free shipping, you've priced your item to compensate for it. But regardless, if you as the seller are going to pay for the shipping, but that shipping, either it's in your price or there's an additional charge, is going to go to the buyer, that goes to eBay, it goes to you, you do the shipping, it goes straight to the buyer, and you have to pay for the shipping, but you've already been paid for that either through the fee that you set in the listing or by setting your price such that it absorbed it, right? So don't worry about shipping. It can confuse everybody. You'll make mistakes in shipping, but don't worry about it. Just forget it, okay? Just sell something. Then you'll see after the first one, it's easy. You'll understand it. If not, you just get on this channel and send some questions and we'll try to help you out, right? So those are things that I find that people, have in their head. Now, the reality of what keeps people from selling, okay? The reality of it, the real hurdles that I see, the number one is expectations, all right? Someone gets into it and they think, I found these 5 or 10 books, I'm gonna sell these things in a week and make my money. They list 5 or 10 books and then they don't sell for a week or 2 weeks or a month. And they get discouraged and they quit, all right? The thing that happens there is book selling is a numbers game. If you can expect, if you're doing really good, I think you can expect about a 4% sell through. So if you get 100 book inventory built up, you're gonna expect around 4 books a week, 5 books a week that are gonna sell. Now, you're gonna hit some things where they're gonna be awesome and they're gonna sell just lickety split. But in general, you're gonna have that 3 to 5% sell through rate, and you just have to build inventory, right? For eBay. It's a numbers game. The more books it's directly scalable. Now, to that point, you have to build inventory, and that takes time. And yes, you have to develop an eye for picking books, but realistically, the biggest item that limits you from reselling is, do you have good book sources in your area? Do you have estate sales, thrift stores, even yard sales, library bookstores, all these different, do you have places that have good books, that have a lot of books, and that they're priced such that you can make profit on them? I'm in North Alabama and I'm blessed with tons of sources, and most of my books run 50 cents to $1, sometimes $2 to $3, but the $3.99, $4.99, $6.99, like I see in places I travel, that's not what I get here. And I tell you, I go to some places that the books are hard to come by. There are tons of clothes, but not many books. If that's your situation, book selling is a hard road. And I would say that realistically, the number one limiting factor on you being able to sell books is to have good sourcing opportunities in your area. Now, that doesn't mean just in your town. It could mean in your region, in your state, depending on how much you're willing to travel and how big your circle is. If you live in a town that, out west somewhere where the other closest town is 100 miles away, you're going to be very limited on books. It's going to be difficult for you to build inventory without really traveling and moving around and then replenishing, feeding the beast, as I say. So that to me is realistically, it's the number one thing, is your sourcing opportunities and how good they are and how good the prices are. It can be the biggest limiting factor. Okay, so after that, some people find storage. Like I've got these shelves behind me. I routinely have 500 to 600 books on eBay. I have my death pile that's got a couple hundred books in it that I need to get on eBay. I have an office here that is, it's roughly a 12 by 13, office that I have all my stuff in. I can get it away from, thankfully my wife is like, just keep it in there. Don't let it overflow into the hallway. It's cool. I don't have to look at it. It's fine. Just, she doesn't like it when the books spill out into other rooms or the hallway, and that's when she has to curb me a little bit. But maybe you don't have that space. You're in an apartment, you're on a 3rd floor apartment, you don't have much space, but if you really start to build inventory, then you can solve that. You can get a rental unit. You can, there's all kinds of ways that you can do it if it makes sense long-term. But storage can become an impact, long term. Practically, though, the other the right up there with sourcing, I find that the limiting factor is that the willingness to put the work in. You can watch YouTube videos and you see all the success stories and the easy part and the wins. and you don't see the grind. Book selling at scale can be a grind. Books are heavy. You got to get orders in, you got to get orders out. You have to source. You sell something, you better be sourcing so that you can feed the beast and keep things in. It can be a grind. And there's an ebb and flow to book selling. There's times when it's easy. There's times when I go to all my source stores, and every store I go in, I find 10 books. There's other times I go in and I get a big goose egg for the day. And those goose eggs can go for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's awful when it's that way. And if I understood that, I could go to Vegas and probably, make a mint. But there's an ebb and flow to the book selling, to finding good books, and even an ebb and flow on the sales side, whether it's eBay or Amazon. You'll have sometimes where weeks you'll make $1,000 in a week. You'll have another week where you make $10 in a week, and it's just the nature of the game, and it can be a grind. And some people, and once you get in, once you start, it looks good, it looks easy, but it does require effort. And like most things in life, the things that if you put effort in it, that effort, that work pays off. It's very simple. Is it guaranteed to pay off? Absolutely not. There's nothing guaranteed. It could completely fall flat, but it's not because of your lack of effort. But I view it like it's odds, right? And the more effort I put into it, smartly, learning along the way, I increase my odds for success. I found that always works. You always learn, keep learning, and you grind it out and put the effort in, and it will work out. So if you're thinking about getting into this, my advice to you would be into book selling. My advice would be just get started. Don't let all the noisy stuff keep you from getting started. Maintain your expectations. Buy good books. You learn and buy good books. Get them listed. Okay? Build up that inventory. Do the work, and you will have success at it. That's all it takes. So anyway, you may have questions. Other people have comments. If there's something that keeps you from doing it, if it's something that keeps you from jumping in and doing it, put a comment out there. Let everybody know. Let's talk, get some dialogue going. Get you unstuck. So anyway, talk to you soon. See you cool. Bye cool. Bye.